How do we find midpoint? What do we remember? Midpoint is?
The average.
Average. And how do we average?
X plus X divided by 2.
Add and divide by 2. So we're going to take our x's. Remember, no matter what you're doing, including what we do today, we're going to talk about slope and stuff today. Every time, the x's go with the x's and the y's go with the y's. You never mix them. So we're going to average our x's. What is 5 plus negative 7?
Negative 2.
Divided by 2.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Average. Add them, divide by 2. All right, negative 2 plus 6. 4. Divided by 2.
2.
2. There's a midpoint. What does this mean? What's happening here?
Distance.
That's distance. And distance is the big radical. Now we still do our x's. Our x's are still together, but this time we subtract them.
Yeah.
Distance is a difference. That helps me remember it, DD. Distance is a difference. So I'm going to do 5 minus negative 7. And I'm going to do negative 2 minus 6. So 5 minus negative 7. So what's 5 minus negative 7? 12. And 12 squared, you ought to know that one. 12 squared is, but if you don't know it, you can type it on your calculator, right? 12 times 12. What is negative 2 minus 6? Negative 8, but I'm squaring it, so it's 64.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to add those together. You get 208.
Yep.
And then, if I don't want to get any points off, I'm going to break that down. I'm going to see if that reduces. So 208. What do I know about 208? It's for sure going to go by 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2 and 104. And then 104 is 2 and 52. And 52 is 2 and 26. My gosh. And 26 is 2 and 13.
Yeah.
Now, if I have 2 of something, I bring it out. Remember, this is a radical. But if I have 2 of something, it's going to come out. So don't I have 2 2's right there? So that means a 2 is going to come out. But wait, I have 2 more 2's? So another 2 is going to come out. And everything here is multiplied. No, 2 times 26, 2 times 13, it's all multiplied. So a total of 4 is going to come out, 2 2's. And the only thing left, it looks like, is the 13. Okay. All right. We're going to do a little more review later on, but first we're going to get our notes out. And we're going to look at P4. And a lot of P4, a lot of terminology that I know is going to sound very familiar to you. We just have to make sure that we can solidify it in our memory. So the first thing in P4 says, we've got these 2 points, and we're going to find the slope. Now I'm going to use the letter M because because for some reason, that's the letter we use when we talk about slope. Remember y equals mx plus b? That's the slope. So I'm gonna use the letter M. And then I'm gonna try to remember, how do we find slope? Well, y equals mx plus b is the equation of a line. And that's where we're headed today. We're going there today. But first we have to know how to find M, the slope. How, it's a number. How do we calculate it?
Y2 minus Y1 over X.
Yep. So again, it's y's minus y's and x's minus x's. All, don't mix and match those. The y's are together, the x's are together. We call this rise over run. Y is rise up and down, run is x, so rise over run. That might help you remember that the y's go on top. Also, when you do your coordinate axis system, isn't the y on top of the x? Always, slope is y over x. Okay, so I'm gonna subtract. So 8 minus 2, 6 minus negative 1. What is that? 6/7? So the slope of that line is 6/7. That means if you were plotting, if you were actually gonna draw this line, you would count up 6 and over 7. Rise, run, 6/7. All right, now you do B, it's exactly the same problem, different numbers. Tell me what the slope is for this one. Anybody got it? 1?
Yep, -1.
She got -1. What about the rest of you? Alice is gonna agree with that? Let's look at it. 10 minus 1 over -3 minus 6. Y, x, x. I got 9 over -9, which is -1. Now, did anybody do 1 minus 10? And 6 minus -3? Did you get the same answer? Of course you did. The order you subtract doesn't matter as long as you do it the same way for both of them. So since I did 10 minus 1, I had to do -3 minus 6. If you did 1 minus 10, you had to do 6 minus -3. The order never matters as long as you do both the same. All right, we good? Okay, now the next one is a little bit trickier. I have 2 points again, but this time I'm missing part of this point, but I know what my slope is. Okay, now, if I found the slope of these 2 points, just do my slope. 6 minus 5 over x minus 4. Would you agree with that? 6 minus 5, x minus 4. Would you agree? And that's the slope, which I know is 3/4. So I go ahead and do my slope at y minus y, x minus x. But they told me in the problem that's supposed to equal 3/4. That good? All right, oh my gosh, I have to solve this. You see anything you could do right off the bat? Well, what's 6 minus 5?
1.
All right, so we can do that. it solves something like that. You guys know this, you did it all the time in geometry. This is called a proportion. How do we solve a proportion? Cross multiply. We cross multiply. So 1 times 4 equals 3 times x minus 4. Remember doing that? Oh my gosh, yes, you've done that a lot. Cross multiply. So I have 4 equal to 3x minus 12. Now we'll solve like we did yesterday. We'll add 12. And divide. I got 16 thirds. I got x equals 16 thirds. Right, that was a little tricky. Let's do, the next one's the same. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Can anybody get us started on the next problem? What's going to be the very first step to get this ball rolling?
-2 minus y.
Okay, let me catch up. So -2 minus y
And then 3 minus 1.
over 3 minus 1.
And then equal to -2.
Perfect, perfect. Now, what's this, you guys? If you're lost, this is the slope. Y, or let's see, y minus y, x minus x. That's the slope, which we know equals -2/3. All right. Anybody notice anything about this right here? Anything we can do maybe?
Subtract the 3 and 1.
Those can actually be cleaned up to make our life a little bit easier. Now what? Here's the magic step. Now what? Cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, be careful. We're going to have -4 equal to -6 minus 3y. Did I do too many steps at once? I'm going to take 2 over here and 3 over here. When I distribute, I get this. So let's see, let's add 6. And divide. Did you get -2/3? Is it good? Everyone? Perfect. All right. Number 3, let's see, number 3 and number 4 are actually the same kind of problem, except number 3 wants point slope and number 4 wants slope intercept. All right, so here we go. I got 2 points. I'm doing 3A. I've got 2 points. My job is to write the equation of the line. Dig back in your memory. Actually, we kind of already talked about it. A line is y equals mx plus b, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's that m stand for? So if you're gonna write the equation of a line, you need the slope?
Yes.
Do we know how to find the slope?
Yes.
Alright, let's do it. The slope will be what? Candace, help me out. What's the slope gonna be?
4 minus 12
4 minus 12.
and 6 minus 92.
Perfect. So 4 minus 12 is -8. And 6 minus -2 is +8. Did you get -1 for your slope?
Yes,
That's a very nice, easy number.
very nice.
Now, to write the equation of the line using point slope, we pick a point. So you're either gonna pick that point or you're gonna pick that point, and it makes 0 difference, okay? No difference. So I always say, look at the one that doesn't have any negatives in it. I'm gonna pick the what I think is the easiest point. But if that one's easier to use that one. It makes no difference at all. I'm gonna use this one. You need 1 point. Then you're going to take y, the letter y, minus your y coordinate. So the point I chose, my y coordinate is 4. So I do y minus 4. And then I do my slope and x minus my x. This is the point slope form of the line. For those of you that like to have formulas, and again, no one is ever gonna say, what's the point slope formula? No, you're gonna have to use it. But if you want a formula, it's this one. That might look familiar to you. M is the slope, and x1, y1 is whatever point you picked. And good news, you're done. That's the point slope form of line. That's it. Now, I want you to try B with your partner. Use this right here as your model if you're not sure what to do. Remember that in a point, the first is x and the second is y. Remember that. Almost forgot. Anybody signing up for math league today?
I mean, wow. They say that every year now. Here.
Candace, I don't see your name on the list. Yeah,
I need to bring it up.
okay. Ellison, I do not see your name on the
Yeah,
list.
when does this happen?
It ends up next week. It ends next week, but don't wait till the very end. What if you forget or have a flat tire? Let's see. Bella, I don't see you on the list. Jake,
Jake,
Jake.
Jake.
The only one on the list on this side of the room is Aqua. So the rest of you, join the cool group.
The
Get
cool
signed
club.
up. That's right, the cool club. Get signed up for Mathway. Please don't forget. It's so fun. You will love it. Plus, you get the extra credit, which. I hope the first thing you did was find the slope.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Ellis is on here too. I'm sorry, Ellis. Ellis is on there. So it's only you two that aren't. All right. So, what did you find for your slope?
-4.
Did we all get -4 for the slope? That's step one. Okay, that's step one. then you picked a point, I hope. What point did you pick?
The first one.
That one?
Yeah.
Does it matter? No. Now, if you picked a different point, will your answer look a little different? Yes, but that's okay. I can figure that out, all right? That's okay. Pick a point, y minus the y coordinate. Now, they happen to be the same, but that's this one. Y minus the y coordinate equals negative 4x minus the x coordinate. And that's your line. How many of you got that? Perfect. We are well on our way.
Let's go.
Now, here is the really good news. Really good news.
Tell me.
The next problem, number 4, says answer in slope-intercept. But we aren't gonna change a thing. We're gonna add one step to the very end of the problem, but otherwise, we're gonna do exactly what we've been doing, okay? So, what have we been doing? First thing, we found the
Slope.
slope. So we'll do 1 minus 5, 4 minus 0. I got negative 1 again.
I did too.
And then we picked a point. Which one would you like to use?
The second one.
All right. Then we do y minus the y coordinate equals slope x minus the x coordinate.
Yeah.
Now, if the directions were point slope, we'd be done. This is it, right there, done. But it's slope intercept. So now, we're going to distribute and add 1 and we are done. If you want your line to be in slope-intercept form, that's y equals mx plus b. All you have to do is take your point slope and get y by itself. So you're going to distribute that, move this over, and you're done. Process is exactly the same. We're not doing anything any different. We're just adding on a little bit at the end. So you and your partner do C, or B, 4B, point C and D. So you're doing 4B.
Got it.
Four C, did I copy my points there? Yeah. I got 1 for my slope. Do you get 1 for your slope?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we use this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it matter?
No.
So we're not gonna get all hung up about that. So y minus 2 equals 1 times x minus 1. What's this called right here? This form right here is called point slope. This is point slope. So if we had directions that said, use point slope, done. But if we're gonna do slope intercept, we'll distribute over here, which is easy because it's just one. And then add the two. How many of you got y equals x plus 1 as your answer? Beautiful. All right. Feeling okay about all this, right? Not too bad, not overwhelming. Let's look at number 5. Write the equation of the line through 5a. Point is negative 2, 3, and we have to be parallel to y equals 3x minus 5. Right, now this is a little bit different. They didn't give me 2 points. In order to write the equation of a line, you have to have the slope. You can't do it if you don't know the slope. And we have been finding the slope doing our 2 points, right? How are we going to find the slope here? Jake?
It's 3.
It's 3. Why is it 3?
Because it's just always good. Like
Well,
y equals
now
f,
wait,
so
this is the
f.
slope of this line,
Yeah,
hands down. But I'm writing a new line.
so it's the same because it's parallel.
Exactly. Parallel lines, think about it. Don't parallel lines have the same slope? So if you know this line has a slope of 3, then your new line that you are writing is also going to have a slope of 3. Alright, so think about what you did over here. You found the slope. Then you picked a point, right? And you had a choice. You don't have a choice. There's your point. So here we go. Y minus 3, that's that 3 right there, equals this 3, x minus negative 2, which turns into x plus 2. There aren't any directions as to how to answer, so technically I could be done right here. That's the point slope form. I'm done. Everybody okay with that, where all those numbers came from? If we wanted slope intercept, okay, so this would be point slope. And they don't tell me in the directions, so I'd be allowed to stop here. But if it said slope intercept form, then remember, we distribute, add this over, and this is the same line, but it's the slope intercept form. And on a test or quiz, it will tell you, answer this way or answer this way. I did both here. So, key takeaway, which I think you remember from previous classes, parallel lines, same slope. Any question about that? Okay. Next problem. We have the same point, I think. And now we're going to be perpendicular to this. do? What do I need? I'm gonna write the equation of a line. I gotta have a slope. Gotta
Yeah.
have a slope. Now, I do not have 2 points. So I'm gonna have to figure out the slope from this line right here. So what am I gonna do here? How am I gonna figure out the slope from this line?
Subtract the 2.
I'm gonna need to get y
By
by
itself.
itself. So I'm gonna subtract the 2x over. And you're gonna wanna do this carefully. Now, obviously, it's not hard, but you're gonna wanna do it carefully
And then divide by -4.
and divide everything by -4, yeah. Now, this is not the answer to the question. We are not done. We took the original line, did all this stuff, and rewrote it like this. These are the same line, right? This is my original line. This is still my original. What is the slope of the original line? 1/2. If I were doing a parallel problem, then 1/2 would be my slope. But I'm doing a perpendicular problem. Anybody remember how that works?
Flip it.
Not only flip it, but also
Opposite.
opposite. So perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. So in other words, we are going to flip it and make it negative. So if we flip it, we get 2/1. If we make it negative, we get -2 over 1, -2. The original slope, this was the original line, we had to do some work, but it's 1/2. So the slope I want is -2. Here's my point, don't have a choice, that's the only point I got. Y minus 3 equals -2 x plus 2. That's a plus 2 because it's x minus negative. Right? What's this called?
Point slope.
Point slope. Let's go ahead and get the slope intercept form. So we'll distribute. Maybe 2x minus 1 for my slope intercept. Okay, how do we feel about that?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. All right, friends. Then, what we're gonna do now is a little quiz practice. Here we go. Little review, get ready for a quiz.
Quiz today?
No, probably not today. Tomorrow, you need a little time to practice.
So let me guess.
Thursday.
Thursday.
How many questions?
Okay, now, stop and think a minute. We already talked about this.
2.
What was last time?
No. Last time.
Oh, they're gonna be
we
exactly
practiced
like
2
your quiz.
problems. Last time we had 2 practice problems, and we had a quiz with the same 2 problems.
So now we have.
So now we have, looks like 5.
So we're gonna have 5 questions on our quiz.
Yes. And they will be very much like
this.
these, okay? So, let's, tell you what, let me give you a minute Why don't you and your partner work on them a little bit?